Imagine a world where innocence shatters like fragile glass under the weight of unimaginable darkness, where the laughter of children echoes with hidden horrors, and the line between play and nightmare blurs into oblivion. These aren't tales from a horror novel. They're real stories.
Was her throat cut?
Yeah. Oh.
Grandma?
Oh my God.
Etched in blood and tears from the hearts of those who should have known only joy. Today we delve into 8 chilling cases of young souls who unleashed terror on the innocent. Feel the chill creep in as we uncover the thrill, the delusion, the rage that turned children into monsters. But remember, behind every shadow lies a victim's cry. Let's step into the unknown together. Alyssa Bustamante, The Thrill? Kill in the quiet suburbs of Missouri, where fireflies dance like fleeting dreams in the summer of 2009, a 15-year-old girl named Alyssa Bustamante harbored a secret that twisted her young heart into something unrecognizable. Alyssa wasn't like the other teens scrolling through social media or giggling over crushes. No, she craved something far darker, a rush that only the edge of death could provide. Picture her in her room, diary in hand, scribbling fantasies of violence, her words dripping with a cold curiosity that chilled even the pages. She wasn't angry, wasn't abused in the ways we'd expect. She simply wanted to feel it. The thrill, the power, the moment when life slips away like sand through fingers. It was a crisp autumn evening when Alyssa's whispers became screams in the silence. Her 9-year-old neighbor, Elizabeth Olton, a bright-eyed girl with pigtails and dreams of becoming a ballerina, trusted Alyssa like an older sister. Elizabeth, with her innocent laughter that could light up the gloomiest day, followed Alyssa into the woods behind their homes. The trees loomed like ancient guardians, their branches whispering secrets to the wind. But on this day, the woods held a predator in pigtails. Alyssa had planned it meticulously, the lure, the isolation, the act. As Elizabeth skipped ahead, unaware, Alyssa's heart raced not with fear, but with anticipation. She grabbed her from behind, hands clamping like vices around the little girl's throat. Elizabeth's eyes widened in terror, her small hands clawing at the air, pleading for a mercy that wouldn't come. Alyssa strangled her, the life fading from those trusting eyes. Then, in a frenzy of morbid curiosity, she slit her throat and plunged a knife into her tiny body multiple times. Blood soaked the forest floor, mingling with fallen leaves, as if nature itself wept for the lost innocence. But the horror didn't end there. With Elizabeth's body hidden in a shallow grave, Alyssa returned home, her clothes stained but her face eerily calm. She dug a hole with her bare hands, the earth cold and unyielding, bearing not just a body but a piece of her own fractured soul. Then, in an act of chilling defiance, she logged into her social media, MySpace, that digital confessional of youth, and typed, "I just killed someone." The words hung there, a digital ghost, as if daring the world to uncover her secret. Friends saw it, but dismissed it as a teen's dark joke. How wrong they were. The discovery came days later, when Elizabeth's family, their hearts shattering with every unanswered, "Where's my girl?" reported her missing. Search parties combed the woods, flashlights cutting through the night like desperate prayers. A dog's bark led them to the grave, and the world gasped as the truth clawed its way out.
I don't know. I just did.
Was there something about her? Did you just want to know what it was like to kill someone?
Yeah, I just wanted to know.
Alyssa's confession spilled forth in interrogation rooms, her voice flat, emotionless. I wanted to know what it felt like. No remorse, just a hollow echo of satisfaction. The nation reeled. How could a child, still in braces and homework, orchestrate such savagery?
Die. 9-year-old girls don't just die.
We were messing around. Then she fell back and hit her head.
Was her throat cut?
Yeah. Oh. you. I can't believe.
Grandma?
Oh my God.
Alyssa's trial was a storm of emotions. Psychologists debating nature versus nurture, a family torn between love and betrayal, and a courtroom heavy with the weight of lost futures. She pleaded guilty to second-degree murder and armed criminal action, her youthful face a mask hiding the abyss within. The judge's gavel fell like thunder. Life in prison, with a sliver of hope, parole after 30 years. But for Elizabeth's family, parole is a wound reopened, a reminder that some thrills cost eternities. Eric Smith, the boy who didn't come home. Deep in the sun-dappled streets of Savona, New York, in the innocent summer of 1993, the air hummed with the carefree buzz of childhood. But beneath that facade, 13-year-old Eric Smith carried a storm no one saw brewing. Eric was an awkward boy, bullied for his fiery red hair and glasses, his days a blur of isolation and unspoken rage. He pedaled his bike through neighborhoods where kids played tag without a care. But inside, Eric wrestled with impulses that clawed at his mind like shadows in the night. He wasn't plotting world domination or revenge on his tormentors. No, his darkness was simpler, more primal, a sudden, inexplicable urge to destroy the fragile. 4-year-old Derek Roby was the picture of toddler joy, chubby cheeks flushed from the warmth of a July morning, his small backpack bouncing as he toddled alone to the library for summer camp. Derek's mother waved goodbye from the porch, her heart swelling with pride at her boy's independence. Little did she know that walk would be his last. Eric spotted him from afar, a lone figure on the sidewalk, vulnerable and trusting. Something snapped in Eric, a whisper from the void urging him forward. He approached with feigned friendliness, luring Derek into a wooded grove nearby, the trees closing around them like conspirators. The woods, once a playground for local kids, became a tomb. What happened next defies comprehension. Eric, with stones and sticks as his weapons, unleashed a fury that no child should know. He choked Derek, the little boy's cries muffled by the underbrush, then bashed his head repeatedly, blood spraying like crimson rain. Derek's tiny body, so full of life moments before, lay broken and still, his backpack discarded like a forgotten toy. Eric fled, but the echoes of those final gasps haunted the air. Hours later, a mother reported her son missing, her voice cracking with fear as volunteers scoured the town. The discovery in the woods was a gut-wrenching horror. Derek's body, mutilated beyond recognition, his innocence stolen in a blur of violence. The community, a tight-knit haven of barbecues and block parties, shattered. Parents clutched their children closer, whispering prayers against the unseen evil that walked among them. Eric's confession came after days of evasion, his young face pale but unrepentant at first. "I don't know why," he stammered, but the evidence was damning. Witnesses, fibers, the blood on his sneakers. The trial gripped the nation, a boy on trial for murder, his freckled face staring out from headlines, evoking pity and revulsion in equal measure. Jurors wept as details unfolded, grappling with the agony of Derek's family, who described a boy who loved dinosaurs and hugs. Eric was convicted of second-degree murder, sentenced to youth detention until 21, then prison for 9 years to life. Decades passed in a haze of appeals and parole hearings, each denial a dagger to the Roby family's healing heart. 28 years. Imagine the weight of that time. Birthdays without Derek, holidays hollow. In 2022, parole granted Eric freedom, a man now in his 40s stepping into a world forever changed. For the Robbies, it was a fresh wound, grief resurfacing like a tide. Eric claims remorse now, but does it mend the fracture? The boy who didn't come home left a legacy of questions. Can a child's rage be redeemed, or does it echo eternally in the woods? As we turn away, the shadows lengthen, urging us to wonder, what if it had been your child? Jennifer Mee, the hiccup girl. In the spotlight's glare of 2007 Florida, Jennifer Mee burst into fame not for talent or beauty, but for a quirk that twisted fate's cruel hand. At 14, uncontrollable hiccups plagued her for weeks, landing her on national TV as the hiccup girl. Cameras flashed, doctors puzzled, and Jennifer's face beamed with the fleeting thrill of celebrity. She was a teen dream, smiles for the world, hiccups echoing like a quirky symphony.
But I've been to neurologists, pediatricians, cardiologists to get MRIs, CAT scans, blood work, everything.
And nothing.
Nothing.
But fame's honey hid a bitterness. Beneath the giggles lurked a restlessness, a void that applause couldn't fill. As the hiccups faded, so did the spotlight, leaving Jennifer adrift in the shadows of obscurity, her heart hungering for something more dangerous to feel alive. By 2010, at 19, Jennifer's path veered into nightmare. Life had soured, family struggles, petty crimes, a circle of friends whispering of easy money. She hatched a plan, a robbery disguised as a drug deal, luring a mark to an empty house in Dade City. Shannon Griffin, 22, was just an ordinary guy, scraping by, trusting in a world that had been kind enough. Jennifer's call came sweet, promising marijuana in exchange for cash. He arrived, hopeful, unaware of the trap snapping shut. Inside the vacant home, dust motes danced in the dim light, the air thick with deceit. Jennifer's accomplices, two young men fueled by desperation, pounced, demanding his wallet. Chaos erupted, shouts, struggles, a gun drawn in panic. Shots rang out, shattering the silence, and Shannon crumpled, blood pooling on the cracked floor, his eyes glazing over in shock and betrayal. Jennifer didn't fire the weapon, but in the frenzy, she was the bait, the architect of the lure. As sirens wailed in the distance, she fled, heart pounding not just from fear, but from the electric rush of the edge. Shannon's body lay undiscovered for hours, his family waiting for a call that never came. When found, the news rippled through the community like a storm. The hiccup girl, that innocent face from TV, tangled in murder. Grief consumed Shannon's loved ones. His mother clutched his photo, sobbing for the son who'd never walk through the door again. The betrayal stung deepest, lured by a voice that once hiccuped on national airwaves. The trial was a media circus, Jennifer's tear-streaked face pleading innocence. But Florida's felony murder law was unrelenting. No one pulls the trigger alone in the chain of crime. Convicted, she faced life without parole, her celebrity a distant memory in the cold bars of prison. Now, in her cell, does she hiccup in the night, echoes of lost fame in fresher blood? The Menendez brothers, Parasite in Beverly Hills. In the glittering facade of 1989, Beverly Hills, where palm trees swayed like silent witnesses and luxury masked every secret, the Menendez family lived a life of enviable excess. Jose and Kitty Menendez, pillars of wealth and power, ruled their mansion with an iron grip. Their sons Lyle, 21, and Eric, 18, orbiting in a world of privilege and pressure. But behind the velvet curtains and crystal chandeliers lurked a poison, allegations of abuse that festered like an open wound. The brothers, handsome and poised, smiled for the cameras, but their eyes held storms. Nights of terror, whispers of violation, a father's dominance crushing their spirits.
Who shot who?
I don't hear anything. I just came home.
You came home and found who shot?
Mom and Dad.
You know if they're still in the house, the people that did the shooting.
Get away from him.
Okay. Hey, let me talk to Eric. Who is the person that was shot?
My mom and my dad.
Your mom and dad?
My mom and my dad.
Okay, hold on a second. Okay, we're on our way over there with the ambulance.
Okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
Oh!
Hello, this is police department.
Yes?
Okay, I want you to come outside. Okay, you come out the front door.
I gotta get my brother.
Greed? Perhaps. But deeper, a desperation to escape the gilded cage that felt like a tomb. Now, in separate cells, Lyle and Eric cling to appeals, their bond unbroken, haunted by the ghosts of parents they both loved and loathed. For the world, it's a mirror to dysfunction. When privilege breeds poison, who pays the price? The mansion stands empty, echoes of shots lingering, pulling us to question how much darkness hides in the light of wealth. Philip Chisholm, the teacher's killer. In the hallowed halls of Danvers High School, Massachusetts, 2013 unfolded like a nightmare scripted for the silver screen. A teacher's trust betrayed in the most sacred of spaces. Colleen Ritzer, 24, was the beacon of hope, a math teacher with a radiant smile, staying late to tutor, her passion igniting young minds. Philip Chisholm, 14, was the new student, tall, athletic, a face that hid tempest from a troubled past. Transferred after his father's death, Philip wandered the corridors like a ghost, his eyes distant, masking a rage that simmered unseen. Colleen saw potential, not peril. She offered kindness, unaware it would be her undoing. Convicted of murder, rape, Chisholm faces 40 years minimum before parole, his youth no shield. Colleen's parents speak of her light, forever dimmed, a reminder of trust's fragility. In the quiet classrooms now, shadows linger. What drives a student to slay his guide? The woods whisper, unresolved, tugging at our fears of the familiar turned fatal. The Slender Man stabbing, a fictional horror made real. In the digital haze of 2014, Waukesha, Wisconsin, where sleepovers bred secrets and screens glowed like portals to other worlds, two 12-year-old girls, Anissa Wire and Morgan Geyser, blurred the line between myth and madness. Best friends since kindergarten, they bonded over fan fiction and urban legends. But Slender Man, a tall, suit-clad specter from online creepypasta, consumed them. To Anissa and Morgan, he wasn't fiction. He was real, lurking in the code, threatening their families unless they proved loyalty. Their sleep talk turned to plots, whispers in the dark weaving a delusion that gripped their fragile minds. Peyton Leutner, their playmate, trusted them utterly. Sleepovers, secrets shared, unaware she was the sacrifice. Anissa released in 2021, Morgan lingers. Peyton thrives, a warrior spirit unbroken. But the case haunts. When folklore festers in young minds, who guards the gate? The woods echo with unanswered pleas, a digital ghost reminding us. Fantasy's blade cuts deep. Mary Bell, the child killer. In the gritty fog of 1960s Newcastle, England, where coal dust choked the air and poverty wove despair, 10-year-old Mary Bell emerged as the enigma wrapped in terror. Born into chaos, a mother lost device, abuse a daily shadow. Mary's eyes held an old soul's detachment, her play laced with cruelty to animals, hints of the storm within. She wasn't a victim lashing out. She was a force drawn to death's allure like a moth to flame. 4-year-old Martin Brown, toddling in his innocence, crossed her path in 1968. Mary lured him to an abandoned house, hands around his throat, strangling the life from his giggles. No tears, just a quiet satisfaction as his body slumped. The case scars. At 10, capable of such coldness? Newcastle's shadows whisper of nurture's neglect, evil's early bloom. What became of Mary? The fog hides her, but the carvings remain, etching warnings on our souls. Nicholas Cruz, the Parkland shooter. On Valentine's Day 2018, Marjorie Stoneman, Douglas High in Parkland, Florida, became a battlefield of broken dreams. Nicholas Cruz, 19, expelled and adrift, returned with an AR-15, his backpack heavy with ammunition and hate. Adopted, motherless, bullied, Cruz's life was a tinderbox of isolation, online rants foreshadowing doom. He walked halls once familiar, now fatal, firing systematically. 17 lives, students mid-laugh, teachers shielding, gone in minutes.
Holy.
Oh my God!
Alyssa Al-Hadaf, dreaming of soccer. Scott Beigel, heroically blocking doors. Blood on Valentine's, screams echoing eternally. Survivors hid in closets, texted goodbyes, the nation holding breath as Cruz fled, captured blocks away. Families collapsed in agony, vigils lighting the night with pleas for change. His guilty plea led to a trial of tears. 34 counts, life without parole. Cruz's flat affect during sentencing, apologies hollow, fueled outrage. Parkland's scar festers, gun debates, mental health cries. For victims' kin, no closure, just endless Feb 14ths.
You know nothing about what deserve to die. Stuff this time, like, at a point where, like, it's not even, like, a joke. It's not, no one can get you out of this, dog. Like,
Cruz rots in silence, but the shots reverberate. What sparks such rage in youth? The school stands, haunted, urging us to face the darkness before it strikes.